According to the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, there are inalienable rights to every human being. These rights are irrespective of your religion, irrespective of who you are or how you appear. These rights should be respected and must be respected. They are inalienable to you. They are fundamental because you are human. Ipso facto, that you are human, you have those rights. Unfortunately, Nigeria is fast descending into an autocratic or fascist government where people can no longer express their opinions without fear of being arrested, harassed, or being picked up. It's becoming an anomaly and it should not continue. Welcome to the Diary of a Broken Man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. Today, we discuss right to speech and freedom of expression. Today, welcome. Since the All Progressive Congress (APC) assumed power at the federal level in Nigeria in 2015 with Muhammad Buhari, the immediate past president, and 2023 when Bola Tinubu, the present or incumbent president, assumed office. Concerns have been raised about the state of freedom of speech and expression under its governance. While the Nigerian Constitution guarantees these rights, under Section 39, various incidents since 2023 suggest that the APC-led government has, at times, restricted these freedom, often citing security, citing public order, or defamation concerns. So we discuss below some notable instances of alleged abuse of freedom of speech and expression by the APC-led government since 2023, followed by potential strategies Nigeria could adopt to address these challenges. Okay? So instances of abuse of freedom of speech and expression since 2023, arrests and harassment of journalists during the 2023 election. This is the first one, the arrests and the abuse of journalists in the 2023 general election. Now, during the February and the March 2023 general elections, multiple reports documented attacks on journalists covering the electoral process. For example, crews from the Arise News and the news agencies of Nigeria, NAN, were physically assaulted by the political thugs. Some believed to be affiliated with the All Progressive Congress, while police allegedly failed to intervene because now the police seems like accomplices in this whole issue. They seem to decide the whole show. In the September of 2023, journalists Babatunde Abdulrazak and Oluwatoyin Lukman were arrested and charged with cyber stalking after publishing articles alleging abuse of office by a local APC politician. Similarly, Abba Jalingo faced charges in 2022, continuing into 2023 for defaming a relative of a former governor under the Cyber Crimes Act. These cases illustrate a pattern of using legal mechanisms to silence investigative journalism and the criticism of APC affiliates. Government response to protests and dissents from 2023 to 2024. Now, the APC-led government has been accused of cracking down on dissent following the 2023 election. For instance, the removal of all eyes on the judiciary. If you remember, when the elections were over, were going to court, and the people started, hashtagging the all eyes on the judiciary, and all of a sudden it became a problem. A simple statement, all eyes on the judiciary. Now, if the judiciary is not compromised, or if the judiciary is basically doing their job, they wouldn't be afraid of all eyes on the judiciary because they know they are going to do their job. Unfortunately, that may not be the case, or allegedly, that was not the case. So the APC-led government has been accused of cracking down on dissent since 2023. The All Eyes on the Judiciary Billboard, which was in August of 2023, which was ordered by the government, was seen as an attempt to stifle public discourse on judicial integrity during the election dispute. Additionally, reports of threats, arrests, and intimidation of activists and protesters critical of Tinubu's administration has fueled perception of quasi-dictatorial tendencies, regulatory actions against media outlets. Now, the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, fined Channels Television in April of 2023 for airing comments by a Labour Party candidate, citing a breach of the broadcasting code. While a court later barred the NBC from imposing such fines, this incident reflects efforts to control media narratives, particularly those opposing the APC's interests. Can you imagine? How can Nigeria tackle these issues? How? How do we tackle this? First, to address these abuses and strengthen freedom of speech and expression, Nigeria could consider the following measures because we are not autocratic. Unless we are practicing a negative democracy or no democracy. Democracy, the highlight of democracy, in fact, the 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 culmen of democracy is the ability to allow people air their views, irrespective of how opposing they may be to the people in power. In fact, what propels democracy as it is the ability of the opposing parties to put those in power on their toes. Unfortunately, this APC-led government seems to be afraid of criticisms, probably because they are underperforming for years. So they are afraid of the unknown. Any person that speaks against their failures, obvious failures, blatant failures, something even a blind person could see, they go after the person using the instruments of the security of Nigeria. Unfortunately, I don't know whether it's because of follow the last order or lack of understanding of personal will. Because the way these security outfits are used in Nigeria, to promote certain illegalities against democracy baffles me. They seem to be working so much for their tax masters, irrespective of the suffering of the people, irrespective of how unwise and how bad what they are going to do may seem. They still go ahead to do it. Is it not Nigeria where security outfits go into the courts to harass people inside the courts? Is it not Nigeria where they give court orders and security outfits still flout the orders? It's as if everybody is just doing anyhow. Everybody. No control, no respect for the rule of law. Unfortunately, the backbone of democracy is the rule of law. And unfortunately also, the rule of law is no respecter of person. Be you who, you fall under the law. But in Nigeria, I think the law is meant only for the poor and for the citizens. The politicians they are not part of the law. They are above the law. If there is any other explanation, maybe you can give to me. For now, the only thing I have in my mind is that they are above the law. So, how do we address this? First is to the reform of the Cybercrime Act, the one they gleefully put in 2015, because to me, I see it as a way of controlling opinions. Because now any small thing you say, they come after you with the Cybercrime Act of 2015. I don't think any other nation, any serious nation, is doing that. Only us. We use the law when it favors us. When it doesn't favor us, we flout it. We flout it openly without qualms. Welcome to Nigeria. So the Cybercrime Act 2015 has been criticized for its vague provisions, such as those criminalizing messages causing annoyance or insult. Amending Section 24 to clearly define offenses and limit its applications to genuine threats rather than dissent or criticism would reduce its misuse. Civil society organizations have seen in the past advocacy efforts in Nigeria and Uganda could lead campaigns for legislative reforms, engaging lawmakers and the public to prioritize digital rights. Another one is strengthening judicial independence. For us to get it right, we must ensure the judiciary can act as a check on the executive overreach. We must make sure that happens. This requires protecting judges from political pressure and expediting cases involving free speech violations. Training judicial officers on international human rights standards, such as those in people's rights, those in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, could empower courts to uphold constitutional guarantees more consistently. Another one is promoting media literacy and public awareness. Educating citizens about the rights to free expression and how to responsibly use digital platforms could mitigate government claims of needing to curb misinformation. Programs led by NGOs and the tech companies could teach critical thinking skills, reducing this pretext for restrictive policies while fostering a more informed public. Another one, enhancing accountability for security forces. The police and the Department of State Services, DSS, has been implicated in many free speech oversight or violation. Establishing independent oversight bodies to investigate and punish abuses by security agents, coupled with clear directives against targeting critics, would deter such actions. International pressure from organizations like the Amnesty International could reinforce this accountability, encouraging multi-stakeholder dialogue. The government should engage tech companies, civil societies, journalists, and the digital rights advocates in crafting policies on online expression. Collaborative efforts such as those proposed during Nigeria's Twitter ban in 2021 could balance security concerns with rights protection, avoiding unilateral measures like platform bans or arrests. Legislative protection for digital rights. Reviving and passing the Digital Rights and Freedom Bill, which has been stalled since 2019, could provide a legal framework to safeguard online expression. This bill aims to protect freedom of speech, assembly, and association in the digital space while offering redress for abuses, aligning Nigeria with global human rights standards. Now, in conclusion, since 2023, the APC-led government under the immediate past president and the current one has faced accusations of abusing freedom of speech and expression through legal overreach, media intimidation and suppression of dissent, like we saw with Raye, the young couple who spoke out voiced out her frustration about the cost of living, the hike in cost of living for a young couple who just graduated from the university without job, probably. And she has to pay through her nose for house rent, for water, for electricity, everything, even network. To have internet, everything is just so costly. Then let the devil carry you to get DSTV or GoTV. You pay through your nose. MTN, Airtel, Glo, Nine Mobile, they are killing Nigerians with their exorbitant, data services. Not as if when you buy it, it lasts. You buy it and under 24 hours, 10 gig is gone and you have not done anything with it. People around the world are enjoying unlimited network. I don't know what is so hard about it. Well, if we can't even get electricity right, how are we going to get internet connections right? So it's becoming appalling that any dissenting voice is picked up immediately. People are now afraid to speak up for fear of victimization, for their opinion in a democratic government, manhunting people for people who speak against the failures of the government. So you beat a child and tell the child not to cry. Is that the kind of democracy we fought for? And unfortunately, some of these people are the people who claim to have fought for democracy. They are the people stifling and killing democracy in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But they fought for democracy. They fought for democracy. So these actions risk eroding Nigeria's democratic gains and public trust. Tackling this issue requires some combination of legal reforms, judicial empowerment, public education, and inclusive policy making. By implementing these strategies, Nigeria can better protect its citizens' rights while addressing legitimate governance concerns, fostering a more open and more democratic society. So let me know what you think in the comment section concerning our recent, not so recent, but what we are seeing these days, that people can no longer express their opinions without fear of being harassed. Once you speak, people will literally come to your comment section to tell you to be careful. They will look for you. They will arrest you for opinion. For opinion. So let me know what you think in the comment section. If there is what you think we could adjust or add as a nation, you can bring it up. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, to comment, and to hit the notification button for further content in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Remember, this is Diary of a Broken Man. Cheers.